Good morning and welcome to 59 Minutes. My name is Levi Konas. It is Wednesday. Today we talk about people who are doing extraordinary things in their workplaces. And we have a young man here. And he is doing some amazing stuff with his hands. Join me in welcoming Nelson Ombati here. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here and I'm honored to
Glad to have you.
Opportunity.
We've got a tagline running, why I love being a fundi.
Yes.
Yeah? Take me through that fundi journey. Is this something you wanted to do in school?
No, just like so many things in life, you find that you wanted to do one thing and life comes and pushes you and you do something else. Actually, I started doing woodworking because I normally do, I'm a fundi, but in the aspect of when it comes to wood. I actually started doing it when Corona had started. Mm-hmm. It was slightly difficult because we were having like finance issues, mm-hmm. and you could find that I needed to help out in any way that I could. Mm. And once I started it, it just picked up and we continued. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm loving it. Funny thing enough, I actually developed a passion for it when I was doing the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're doing those guys who did woodwork in school?
No, not really. Luckily enough, my dad has a workshop.
Yeah.
Right? And I am so privileged and blessed to use his machinery and everything. And then also at the same time, with that being said, I also do believe that I normally make good work and I love.
So you didn't study for this?
Nope.
But when did you start walking into this workshop and touching a few things?
Ever since I was probably in primary. Yeah. Yeah.
So in primary, what projects were you doing?
Not much. I just used to be there.
You're just looking at things.
Yeah. So you find that echo in the subconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you watch, you look at what guys are doing.
Exactly.
What was the first thing you ever made that was good? I'm sure there are things you made, you're thinking, this one. Huh?
It was a box. It was just a small wooden box made of pine. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I was so happy with it, and I think that's the first thing I've ever made.
What a box?
Yeah.
What was it for?
Nothing in particular. I just wanted to try something.
Yeah.
Because you always see
4 squares.
Yeah.
They're put together.
Yeah. Because that's like one of the most basic things you can do, is just start by making a box.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there moments you tried something and thought,
Yeah. Later on I'll show you I have a foldable stool, but the first time I made it, it went terrible. It didn't work out because there were so many things that I had to learn before so that I can make it. So just like everything, you have to start with the basics to go to the advanced. So with that in mind, I always started with the things that were simple, and I build it up to what was hard.
All the simple things, and then you build it up to what you have. And we're going to be sharing some of those pictures in
yes,
after the half, so people can see what you
made and
some
everything.
of the things you've done.
Thank you.
But let me just say by way of how do I put it? By way of introduction to woodwork, sort of. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So many of us do not even know how to drive a nail.
Yeah.
Into a wall properly, yeah? And we think, when we think of wood and we look at some of these things, we think of the difficulty. Do you find that when you walk in, for example, even this table, do such things jump at you in terms of...
Yeah. It's a funny thing. It's one of those things whereby when, before you started doing like that certain job or that certain professional skill, you wouldn't notice any detail. But now when you walk into a room, I can literally tell high-end furniture from those that are just pretending to be high-end.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Unapimanga watu?
Kabisa. It's very easy for me now to...
You can, and even just not high-end, even stuff that people really put in a lot of work to do.
Yeah. You can. I can.
Yeah? What's the hardest thing to do in making stuff? Is it curves? Is it...
Okay. The hardest thing to do is probably, as you've said, it's the curves. Straight edges are normally not an issue, but with the curves, because we don't have they're normally those two special machines, but we don't have. So you have to like really curve with with the machine as you go slowly, and you trace it out first of all, and then you have to like follow it along.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can find that with those machines, it normally goes so fast, and you can find umeshakata mbao ndani, and once wood is so difficult in such a way whereby if you cut it, that's it. You have to work with it being whole, and then you make it smaller to what you want.
To what you want.
Yeah.
So before even we see some of your work, I want to know, after high school, what did you do?
After high school, I did communications. And
Communications?
Yep, I know, at St. Paul University.
I know where that is. Limuru?
Yes.
Yeah.
But nilifanya hiyo tao, sikuenda hiyo ya Limuru. So that's what I did. And I'm here because of the money.
You're here because... you realized that so you didn't want to go and even study woodwork. But then after... So now, you know, when people finish campus, usually they want to try and see whether what they've studied for, they can pursue kidogo.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
You what happened? Did you try to look for something in communications before you said, you know what, let me fall on woodwork as a by the way, or what happened?
No. I just started doing simple projects. As I've said, it was during that time of Corona.
Yeah. And
the gears picked up, and after that, it just became my passion.
It just became your passion, and now you found yourself, you know.
Completely. Funny thing is, I can't even see myself doing anything else. So
now you're a full-time fundi.
Yeah.
I tell you. You even have an Instagram page with your stuff.
Yes, CASAFURNITURE _ and that's my page.
Okay, let's look at some of your stuff.
Okay. First of all, we're gonna start with this. This is made out of pine. It's for when you put your salt and tomato sauce and everything. It just settles here.
You can see it a bit.
Okay.
Even I'm saying lift even so the entrance they can also see that.
Yeah. So that's how it is, and it's very sturdy and very strong. So yeah, that's one of them.
It looks, I like the way it looks. This is something you just created.
Yes, but yes, I made it with my hands, but I got it off PixArt. You know, you find people wanataka kitu and then they have a picture of what they want. So we try and fulfill their ideas into work.
So what kind of wood is this?
This is pine.
What does it take to, chonga it into something acceptable?
The time.
Yeah.
Something like this will take probably, let me say, 3 hours. And I'm talking about also the finishing after you've done it.
From planks of wood too?
Yes. To now the finishing and everything. And yeah. So if you do it right, you might actually be, and if you get so many customers, you might be earning so much money in such a short time.
How are you getting the curves in?
Cool. The circular one is not an issue because we have you can have a drill and then there's a bit and then you just drill it in and it's going to remove the circular curves. Yeah, that's not an issue. The issue is a curve that you have to make it like this, and it's not a circle. And you find that it has so many...
It's like a wavy thing.
Yes, that's the difficult part.
Okay,
so that's the one. That's the first one. I really like it so much, and I think it has so much utility. It's not even... You can use it for hotels or for your kitchen. And
it's even just good to look at.
Yeah, thank you. So
it could even be a memento on the wall.
It has that value. I love aesthetic value when it comes to my products also at the same time.
That when you see it, you're like,
Yeah. The second one is, this is a chopping board. The chopping board is made out of mahogany and cypress and pine. So yeah, it's very nice to also look at, and it looks nice when you mix it with all these onions and tomatoes and everything. I wish we had those so that I could show them how how it looks.
You want to do a how to, or even on the chopping of the onions and tomatoes.
Yes, because it's very colorful, and also fruits are and vegetables are also colorful, and it'll look so nice. Yes,
that has to be is that choice of wood. To be honest, let me tell you, I'm a layman here.
Okay.
So I would not know what would be heavy wood for what. Is there a specific
wood? Okay.
For now, chopping as opposed to this.
Yes and no. At the same time, it really depends on how you cure your wood. For example, you find that when it comes to mahogany, it's not an issue. It doesn't have like so much water retainance or all that. Or when it comes to things like pine, those don't have issues. But there are certain products like gravelia, which is another type of wood, that normally soak up a lot of water. So yes, there are certain types, but so much wood, it really depends on how you cure it, how long you put it, kama imedry kabisa. Because you know, you get wood and you find that you can find wet timber, and those are not so pleasant to work with. So you have to leave it out in the sun for some time, and then it cures, and then you can now use it to make your final products.
Tell me, is it difficult to source your raw materials?
No, no. I normally get them from Gong Road. And when it comes to things like pine and cypress, those are the softwoods. I can find it easily at Mlolongo or in Syokimau. Yeah.
So do you go sourcing yourself?
Yes.
So you're the one who's the eye?
Yes.
You look at the thing and you're like, this one?
Inimzuri, inimbaya. Yes, I do it.
So you have all manner of tools?
Yes, most. Not all. You find that we can have, I told you, like with the cabs, very difficult. But if you have the machines for making cabs, that's not an issue. Yes.
Yeah, you know, it's very interesting because, you know, many people your age run away from working with their hands. It's becoming a forgotten culture. And then also getting a good fundi to do good work who produces something quality is becoming more and more rare. A lot of people don't have the passion to actually produce something that they would be proud of.
True.
Even to use.
Yeah.
You ever sit back, look at something and you're like,
Yes. Yeah, and that's actually, thank you for asking that question, because that's something that I always wanted to talk about. I really make sure that whatever I've made, I'm passionate about it and I like it and I would buy it. And that's what's going to make it easy for you to price something and not feel so guilty about it. Because you know the labor that has been put there, you know the material, you know the finishing, and you know everything that has costed you to make it final like that. And if it looks good, you can't put a label on it, like a pricing.
Tell me, how eccentric are you? Because I know some creatives who keep on correcting.
Oh yeah, okay, yes. There's a point.
You look and you're like, man.
So, yes, it happens a lot actually. Yeah. But I always believe in, I normally, when it comes to this work, maybe also other artistic work, you find that I believe that there's normally a curve, that perfection is somewhere there. If you continue, you will be spoiling the product. So you just have to read someone.
How do you know? How do you know? That's the thing, guys. How do you know?
You have to be slightly, because you know, unajua, you have to be contented enough to be like, okay, you mistake kubwa sana ama ni kidogo. You really have to be real with yourself. And because you find that I have spoiled some products and you want to make perfection, but you pass it and it becomes worse than it was. The mistake that was there. So you really have to be real with yourself and say, oh, kama sisi, if I'm not strong, if I don't know, if I can't do this well enough, let me just stop there. I'm sure the mistakes can be hidden in one or another.
Michelle, let me be kind to myself.
Yes.
You know that happens to all of us, even in our field, right? Like, I can't watch myself.
On TV?
I can't.
Nabil, I'm so excited to watch
I'll see everything wrong with the interview.
Yeah.
You know, there's... and you go to a point, you're like, let me just do what I can when I can. Because even when people tell you that was okay, you're like a panic.
Yes.
You know, even when they say it was good, you're like, no, could have done this, could have done that. You know, I put in too much of this or that. So it's good to know that it happens to all of us.
It does. It really does. As long as the clients are happy and for you, your viewers, that's all that matters.
That's what that matters. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We're talking to Nelson Ombati. He is working with his hands, as you can see, and doing a good job at it. We'll be right back after these messages.